Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about that fascinating, ever-evolving language that lives online. You know, the one that sometimes makes you feel like you need a secret decoder ring just to keep up?
Uh,
Have you ever scrolled through comments, felt a new slang word pop up and thought, what on earth does TBH mean? Or am I totally out of the loop?
oh, definitely. Happens all the time.
It's like one minute you're navigating online conversations smoothly, and the next you feel a step behind, right?
Exactly.
This dynamic language of the internet is truly a living organism, constantly being born, growing, and changing at, well, breakneck speed. It's vibrant, immediate, and profoundly global.
It truly is. And our mission today is to take a good look into this unique linguistic landscape. We want to show you that understanding internet English isn't just about memorizing a list of acronyms or definition.
Right, it's deeper than that.
It goes so much deeper. It's about grasping the underlying tone, the cultural context, and those incredibly subtle nuances that transform a simple string of letters into an inside joke, a genuine sign of support, or even a very sharp criticism.
Hmm.
What's particularly captivating about this language is that it facilitates instant connection, fuels the spread of memes across continents in mere hours, and allows global communities to form around shared interests faster than ever before. It's truly a language optimized for the digital age.
That's a powerful way to put it. It's not just about what you say, but fundamentally how you say it and crucially where you say it.
Exactly.
The same words can mean vastly different things depending on the platform or the audience.
Precisely. So our goal for you, our listener, is that this exploration will be your essential guide to navigating this fascinating world of online communication. We'll be explaining common slang, unraveling the informal grammar of social media, and ultimately equipping you with the tools to participate in online conversations with confidence.
That sounds useful.
Remember, no one is born knowing this. Even those of us who grew up with the internet are constantly learning and adapting. It's an ongoing, shared journey of discovery.
That's reassuring.
So, are you ready to stop being a lurker, that silent observer, and jump into the conversation? Let's get you ready to engage.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into the absolute basics first. The indispensable acronyms you'll see everywhere. These are truly the building blocks of online shorthand, almost like the atomic particles of internet communication.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
What's the driving force behind their widespread adoption? Beyond just convenience, is there more to it?
That's a great question, and it really does go beyond mere convenience. The core purpose of these acronyms is fundamentally about speed and conciseness, but also about efficiency and, cognitive load.
Cognitive load. Okay.
Think back to the early days of texting where every character counted, right? Or even just the fast-paced, real-time nature of instant messaging and online chats.
Yeah, T9 texting was a pain.
Exactly. In these environments, verbose communication slows everything down. So abbreviating common phrases became not just essential, but a natural evolution. It's about getting your message across as quickly and efficiently as possible, often mirroring the rapid-fire exchange of spoken conversation without sacrificing clarity for those who are, in the know.
So it kind of builds community too, like an in-group thing.
It definitely creates a sort of linguistic shorthand that builds group cohesion. Yeah.
So let's start with the absolute classic, the one that probably paved the way for so many others, LOL. While everyone probably knows it stands for laughing out loud, its usage has shifted quite a bit, hasn't it?
Absolutely. LOL is indeed the quintessential internet acronym, and its evolution is a fascinating case study in linguistic adaptation. While it literally means laughing out loud, its usage has broadened significantly from expressing genuine, uncontrollable mirth.
Right, I rarely actually laugh out loud when I type LOL.
Me neither. Nowadays, it's often used more as a friendly full stop at the end of a sentence, or simply as a light acknowledgement that something was mildly amusing, even if you're not actually bursting into laughter.
Okay, give me an example.
For example, if someone texts you, "I forgot my keys again, lol," they're not necessarily laughing hysterically.
Definitely not. More like sighing.
Exactly. Instead, it adds a light, self-deprecating tone, signaling, "I find this mildly amusing," or "this is a casual, low-stakes comment." It functions less as an intense emotional declaration and more as a conversational softener or a digital chuckle, reducing the formality of the interaction.
A digital chuckle, I like that.
It's become a versatile tool for tone management online, indicating a playful or relaxed demeanor.
That's really insightful how it's not just about literal meaning, but about managing the feel of the conversation. And then we have OMG. That one seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? Oh my God, or oh my goodness.
It is, and its simplicity kind of belies its incredible versatility. OMG is a classic expression of surprise, shock, excitement, or even disbelief.
Yeah, it covers a lot of ground.
You can use it when you're thrilled about something. OMG, I got the job.
Yeah.
Or when you're completely taken aback by news. OMG, did you see that video? Its widespread adoption is partly due to its ability to convey a wide range of strong, sudden emotions.
So it's like an instant exclamation point.
Pretty much. In fast-moving online discussions, it acts as an immediate emotional exclamation point, signaling an urgent reaction without needing a full sentence. It's efficient, impactful, and universally recognized for its immediate emotional punch.
Simple and to the point. What about BRB? I see that a lot in chats, especially live ones.
BRB stands for Be Right Back. It's incredibly simple, direct, and universally understood to indicate a temporary absence from an online conversation.
Like needing to grab a drink or something.
Exactly. If you're in a real-time chat and need to step away for a moment, perhaps to answer the door or grab that coffee typing, BRB lets everyone know you'll return shortly. It's a crucial piece of online etiquette, really.
Etiquette, yeah. That makes sense. Stops people wondering if you've vanished.
Right. It prevents others from wondering where you went, if you've disconnected, or if you're still engaged. It's polite, efficient, and avoids potential awkward silences or repeated questions in a dynamic chat environment. It effectively mimics the brief verbal, of an in-person conversation.
And BTW, I find myself using that one all the time, even in emails sometimes. Maybe I shouldn't.
Well, it depends on the email. But yeah, BTW is, by the way, it's a fantastic tool for transitioning thoughts, adding an aside, or introducing new related information that might not directly follow the previous statement, but it's still relevant.
Like a little detour in the conversation.
Exactly. It's like saying, oh, on a side note, or while we're on the subject. For instance, I'm heading to the store. BTW, do you need anything? It helps weave in additional thoughts seamlessly without disrupting the flow too much, keeping the conversation fluid and natural.
Yeah, it provides a soft pivot.
Allowing for the introduction of secondary information without derailing the main topic.
Now, TBH is one I encounter frequently, and it always feels like it's introducing something significant, a genuine statement. To be honest.
You're absolutely right. TBH stands for to be honest. It's used to introduce a sincere opinion or a direct, unfiltered thought, often one that might be slightly critical, unpopular, or even a personal confession.
So it's like a little warning sign. Here comes the real talk.
Kind of, yeah. It signals that what you're about to say is genuine, even if it's a bit... That's a good question. Yes, IMO is, in my opinion, and IMA is, in my humble opinion. The addition of humble in IMHO adds a distinct layer of deference or politeness.
So it softens the blow a bit.
Often, yes. It's frequently used when you're about to express an opinion that you anticipate might be controversial, or simply to soften the delivery of your viewpoint, making it less confrontational. It's a way of saying, this is just my view, and I offer it respectfully without imposing it.
Makes sense. A bit of online diplomacy.
It's a subtle but significant nuance in online etiquette, allowing for robust discussion while maintaining a semblance of courtesy. It can also sometimes be used ironically, though.
Oh, how so?
Like to feign humility when you're actually quite confident in your opinion. IMHO, this is clearly the only way to do it.
Huh. Okay, I can see that happening. We got a few more rapid-fire ones that are incredibly common. IDK, Ali, JK, NVM, TMI, FYI, and ASAP. Can you give us a quick hit on each, perhaps with a common scenario?
Certainly. These are all about maximizing efficiency and directness.
Let's start with IDK.
IDK? I don't know. Very straightforward. Used for genuine uncertainty. IDK? What time the meeting is? It can also be used to express a casual dismissal.
Yeah.
IDK, I just don't feel like it.
Okay. And ILY. Seems pretty intimate.
ILY, I love you. Used for quick, affectionate expressions, particularly among close friends or family. Thanks for the gift, ILY. Less common in formal settings, obviously.
Right, JK. That one's important for tone.
JK, just kidding. Essential for clarifying sarcasm or lighthearted remarks, preventing misinterpretation. I'm going to eat all the pizza myself. JK.
Crucial. NVM.
NVM, never mind. Used to dismiss something previously said or asked, or to indicate a change of thought. What was that question? NVM. I figured it out. Saves time backtracking.
TMI. Often used humorously, right?
TMI, too much information. Often used humorously, yeah, when someone shares something overly personal, embarrassing, or gross.
Yeah.
He told me about his morning routine. TMI.
FYI. More informational.
FYI. for your information. Similar to BTW, but often for more factual or informative asides. FYI, the office is closed tomorrow. It's a heads up, basically.
And finally, ASAP. Everyone knows that one.
ASAP, as soon as possible, indicates urgency. Please send the report ASAP. This one has definitely crossed over into widespread professional use beyond just internet chats.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Some of these we say out loud, some we don't, and some even cause debates. Let's talk about how we actually pronounce these things when we're speaking them aloud, because it's not always intuitive.
It's true, the spoken dimension adds another fascinating layer to internet language. For LOL and OMG, they are almost universally pronounced letter by letter. LOL and OMG.
Yeah, you'd never say lol or as a word.
Right, you rarely hear someone say lol as a single word in conversation. It would sound quite odd and forced. However, with ASA, you actually have both pronunciations.
Oh, yeah.
You can say it letter by letter, ASAT, or you can pronounce it as a word, ISAP. Both are widely accepted and understood, and the choice often depends on personal preference or the speed of the conversation.
I think I usually say ISAP. It's quicker.
ISAP is often quicker, and more integrated into spoken English.
What about IYK? I've seen that one around, but I've genuinely never heard anyone say it out loud. Why is that? It seems like it would be a mouthful anyway.
That's a truly excellent observation, and it points to a profound aspect of internet communication. IYK, if you know, is, as you noted, almost exclusively for written communication.
Okay, so why?
It signifies an inside joke, a shared reference, or a collective experience that only a specific group or community will understand. It's a knowing nod, a subtle wink in text, a kind of secret handshake that only those in the loop will recognize and appreciate.
Like a little coded message.
Exactly. This raises an important question. Why do some phrases remain purely textual in a world where we often speak internet language, even those that began online? I believe it's because saying IYK out loud would actually break the mystique, the exclusivity, and the subtlety of the inside joke.
Ah, okay. Saying it ruins the magic.
Precisely. It's meant to be a delicate boundary marker. By being a written code, it maintains a level of intrigue and belonging for a specific group. If you were to say it aloud, it would be akin to explaining the punchline of a joke, which diminishes its impact and removes the sense of shared, implicit knowledge that makes it powerful.
So it's like a linguistic gatekeeper.
That's a perfect way to describe it. Silently reinforcing who is in and who is out of a particular digital subculture.
That makes perfect sense. It's about preserving that specific social function. Okay, moving beyond the acronyms, we have a whole vocabulary of slang that really colors our online interactions. These aren't just words. They feel like cultural touchstones encapsulating evolving narratives and social commentaries in themselves.
Exactly. These slang words and expressions often emerge organically from specific online communities, social movements, or viral trends, sometimes even tied directly to memes or fleeting viral moments.
They pop up so fast.
They really do. They add immense personality to conversations and, crucially, create a strong sense of belonging among those who use and understand them. It's like a constantly evolving secret handshake that deepens connections within specific digital tribes.
The digital tribe, yeah.
They allow for rapid, nuanced emotional expression that formal language often cannot provide in quick online exchanges.
Let's delve into some of these key slang terms. Slay is one that feels incredibly powerful and positive. Where did that come from and how is it used today? It seems everywhere now.
Slay is a fantastic example of a term that migrated from specific subcultures into mainstream online usage. It means to do something with perfection, to impress profoundly, or to achieve overwhelming success.
So like you really nailed it.
Exactly. Its roots are often traced back to African American Vernacular English, AAVE, and specifically to the ballroom culture of the 1980s, where it referred to performers delivering an exceptional outfit or dance.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know the history.
Yeah, it has a rich cultural background. In contemporary online use, it carries an empowering connotation. If someone comments, "You slayed that presentation," it means you absolutely nailed it, performed exceptionally well, and left everyone impressed.
It feels very celebratory.
It's a high-energy compliment, indicating mastery, triumph, and excellence, often used to uplift and celebrate someone's achievements in a very direct way. You'll see it applied to anything from a fashion choice to an argument.
How about vibe? That one seems pretty self-explanatory, but it has a specific internet feel, especially when paired with other words like immaculate vibe.
Right. Vibe refers to the atmosphere, emotional feeling, or overall energy of a place, a person, or a situation. While the word vibe has been around for a while, its internet usage emphasizes its subjective and often ephemeral quality.
So it's more about the feeling than something concrete.
Exactly. This place has a good vibe, captures an intuitive sense of positive energy. Online, it's often used aesthetically. The sunset photo is giving serious golden hour vibes. It's a shorthand for describing an overall emotional or sensory impression, allowing users to convey complex feelings concisely.
You can have bad vibes too, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. You can talk about a bad vibe or a chill vibe, often combining it with other adjectives to paint a very specific picture of a subjective feeling.
Ghosting is a social phenomenon that sadly became so common it absolutely needed its own term. It feels quite descriptive.
Yes, ghosting describes the act of suddenly disappearing from communication with someone without explanation, typically in dating, social, or even professional contexts.
Poof, gone.
Pretty much. One person simply stops replying to messages, calls, or attempts at contact, vanishing as if they were never there. The term ghost is so apt because it perfectly describes the feeling of someone vanishing without a trace, leaving the other person confused, hurt, and without closure.
Yeah, it's rough.
It reflects a growing trend of conflict avoidance and disengagement in online relationships, where the ease of disconnecting digitally can sometimes supersede the social responsibility of clear communication, however difficult. It's a painful, but sadly common, modern phenomenon.
Then there's salty. I can almost taste the bitterness in that word whenever I see it.
You've got the perfect sensory connection there. Salty means being irritated, annoyed, or upset over something relatively minor, often after a defeat, a perceived slight, or an unfair situation.
Like losing a game and complaining about it.
Exactly. For example, he's just salty because he lost the game. Its origin often ties back to sports or competitive context, where losing can make players resentful and express lingering bitterness or annoyance.
Makes sense.
Online, it's frequently used to describe someone's petty or prolonged frustration, often with a hint of playful teasing from the observer. It perfectly captures that lingering, slightly sour emotional state.
And shade. That sounds a bit sneaky, like you're doing something subtly mean.
Shade is indeed a bit sneaky. It refers to a disguised criticism or a subtle, often mean or disrespectful comment that isn't overtly aggressive.
So it's not a direct insult.
Right. When someone says he's throwing shade at his ex, it means they're making an indirect jab or a subtly negative remark without being direct or confrontational. The visual metaphor of shade as a subtle jab is quite clear. It's not a direct hit, but a shadow of negativity or a subtle insult intended to undermine or dismiss someone.
It feels like an art form sometimes.
It really is in some online circles, requiring a certain level of wit to be delivered effectively without breaking the unwritten rules of social engagement.
Tea sounds innocent enough, but I know it's not. Spill the tea. What's the story there?
Tea is anything but innocent. It's pure gossip or juicy, often scandalous information. When someone says, spill the tea, they mean tell me the gossip or give me all the juicy details.
But why tea? Any ideas?
As for why tea became synonymous with gossip, it's a fun linguistic mystery. Popular theories suggest it might stem from the historical social rituals of gathering for tea and exchanging news and rumors.
Like afternoon tea gossip sessions.
Maybe. Another theory links it to the phrase spilling the beans, with tea implying something hot and worth spilling. It definitely conveys that the information is desirable, often a bit scandalous, and shared with a knowing wink among friends.
It implies intimacy, too, like sharing a secret.
Definitely. A shared interest in digging into interesting, perhaps private information.
Simp is a term that has stirred a lot of discussion and even controversy. How do we understand it in modern online discourse? It seems quite negative.
Simp, in modern online discourse, refers to someone who does too much for another person, often a romantic interest or an influencer, in the hope of gaining their attention, approval, or affection.
Okay, so like overly attentive.
It generally implies an imbalance, where one person is overly eager to please or is seen as subservient, often at their own expense. While its exact etymology is debated, it gained significant traction in gaming and streaming communities.
Right, I've seen it there a lot.
Beyond its simple definition, simp became a lightning rod for broader discussions around online dating dynamics, gender roles, and even male self-worth, particularly in certain gaming and social media circles.
So it carries a lot of cultural baggage now.
It does. Its use, often pejorative, reflects a cultural commentary on perceived over-eagerness or subservience in romantic pursuit, and its rise shows how quickly new social norms and criticisms can be codified and spread within a single word online. It's important to note its usage can be playful among friends, but it can also be used as a genuine criticism of unhealthy relationship dynamics or a derogatory label.
Good to know the nuance.
Yeah.
And cringe. That one instantly makes me feel something physically just hearing the word. Like I want to curl up.
Cringe is exactly that. Something that causes vicarious embarrassment, making you feel intensely uncomfortable or embarrassed for someone else.
That secondhand embarrassment feeling.
Exactly. It describes that visceral, almost physical recoil you experience when witnessing something awkward, or socially inappropriate.
Mhm.
That TikTok dance is so cringe means it evokes that powerful reaction of discomfort, making you want to look away.
It's more than just bad then.
Oh yeah, it's not just bad. It's so awkwardly bad or misguided that it makes you physically recoil a little, highlighting the very strong emotional and social judgments that are often made in online spaces. It's a shortcut for a complex emotional reaction to perceived social failure.
Bet and cap are pretty common now too, often appearing together or in similar contexts. What's the deal with them?
They are. Bet is slang for yes, for sure, or agreed. If someone says, let's meet at 7, you can reply bet to casually confirm your agreement or commitment.
So just a quick, okay.
It's a strong, casual affirmation signaling confidence and certainty. Cap means lie, and no cap means no lie, seriously, or for real.
Okay, so that story is cap means it's not true.
Exactly. That story is a lie, or that's unbelievable. Conversely, no cap, that really happened, means seriously, that truly happened, I'm not lying.
Gotcha. Used for emphasis or disbelief.
Right. It's used in informal context to verify authenticity, express disbelief, or emphasize the truthfulness of a statement in a very direct, informal way, often among younger demographics.
Now, for pronunciation quirks for slang, this always gets people. Meme is a big one that I often hear mispronounced as mimi.
Yes, the pronunciation of meme is a classic source of confusion for newcomers to internet culture. It's pronounced meme, rhyming with dream or team, not mimi.
Why do people get it wrong? Any idea?
As for why so many get this wrong initially, I think it's because the double E in English can sometimes lead to a short E sound, or perhaps the unfamiliarity of the word's relatively recent widespread adoption leads to an intuitive but incorrect phonetic guess.
Like bin.
Maybe, but in this specific word, it follows a different phonetic rule, similar to words like theme or extreme. Once you hear it correctly, it tends to stick, but it's a small linguistic hurdle many encounter.
And then the eternal battle. GIF. Is it GIF or GIF? It seems like everyone has an opinion on this, and they're often very strong opinions.
The GIF debate. This is arguably one of the most iconic and fiercely contested pronunciation arguments online. It can be pronounced GIF with a hard G, like in grape or gift, or GIF with a soft G, like in giraffe or the peanut butter brand.
So which one is right? Or are both okay?
Both pronunciations are widely accepted and used today, even though the creator of the GIF format famously stated it should be pronounced GIF.
The creator said GIF. Interesting. But people still argue.
Oh yeah. What's truly fascinating here is how a simple pronunciation can become such a point of contention and identity online. It's almost a tribal marker, a playful line in the sand.
People really dig their heels in.
They feel incredibly strongly about their chosen pronunciation, and the debate itself has become a running joke and an integral part of internet culture, showcasing how online communities can form and solidify around even the smallest linguistic preferences.
So the argument itself is part of the culture now.
Exactly. It's not just about being grammatically right, it's about belonging to a particular linguistic camp. And the debate itself reinforces the playful, often argumentative nature of online discourse.
So if the lexicon is our essential dictionary, then how about the grammar of the internet? Because let's be honest, the internet plays by its own rules, or maybe lack thereof. It really seems to throw out a lot of the formal grammar we learn in school, doesn't it?
That's absolutely right, and it's a critical distinction to make. Online communication, especially in fast-paced, informal environments like social media or instant messaging, actively prioritizes speed, immediate emotional expression, and distinct visual cues over strict adherence to formal grammatical rules.
So function over form, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. The conventions of capitalization, punctuation, and even traditional spelling are often intentionally bent or outright ignored to achieve a certain effect or convey a specific tone. It's less about grammatical precision and more about expressive efficiency. It's a fundamental shift in linguistic priorities for digital spaces.
Let's talk about capitalization first. It's not just about starting a sentence anymore, is it? It carries so much more weight online. Like, all IYKYK means something very specific.
Not at all. Capitalization has taken on entirely new communicative functions. For instance, writing everything in lowercase letters is a common aesthetic choice.
Yeah, I see that a lot. It feels chill.
It conveys a calm, relaxed, understated, or even apathetic tone. Think of it in a message like, hey, just want to check in, hope you're doing okay. The lack of capitalization makes it feel incredibly casual, non-demanding, and gentle, almost like a whisper in text.
Or sometimes just lazy, maybe.
Maybe sometimes. It can also subtly communicate a cool, effortless, or detached vibe. On the complete opposite end, writing in all IYKYK is the digital equivalent of shouting.
Right.
Shouting.
Exactly. It's universally understood as conveying extreme enthusiasm, intense anger, urgency, or simply to emphasize something very strongly, like, I can't believe it, or you have to see this.
It's funny how we all just know that, isn't it?
This raises an important question. How did these seemingly arbitrary visual cues become so universally understood as emotional indicators across diverse cultures and languages online?
Yeah, how did that happen?
It's largely through collective adoption, repeated exposure, and shared understanding within digital communities. Over time, as more people consistently use lowercase for casualness and all caps for emphasis, these conventions became embedded in the subconscious grammar of internet communication, creating a shared, unspoken language of visual tone.
That's so true. It's like we all just implicitly agreed on these new rules without a meeting. And punctuation has developed entirely new meanings too. I've heard that a single period can be interpreted as passive-aggressive or even confrontational. That's a huge shift from its formal use as just ending a sentence. You're spot on, and this is one of the most fascinating evolutions. In short messages online, the lack of punctuation is often the norm because it contributes to the casual, fast pace, making messages feel lighter and more immediate.
Okay, so no punctuation is the default.
Often, yeah. However, a single period at the end of a short message, like okay, as opposed to just okay or okay, can indeed be interpreted as abrupt, passive-aggressive, irritated, or overly formal, depending on the context and relationship.
Wow, so okay sounds mad, but okay is fine.
Pretty much. The absence of punctuation has become the perceived neutral or friendly baseline, so adding a period suddenly adds weight or finality that can feel harsh. For example, consider the difference between sure, which can sound curt or annoyed, and sure or sure, which sound much more amenable.
That's wild. We have to be punctuation detectives now.
This shift is significant because it forces us to be more aware of micro-expressions in our digital text. For expressing emotion, emojis, and the repetition of letters like "so good," "new way," or "ha-ha" are far more common and effective than traditional punctuation.
Right, emojis do a lot of heavy lifting for tone.
They really do. They convey a spectrum of feelings from genuine delight to sarcastic boredom that a single comma or even an exclamation mark simply can't capture with the same immediacy and nuance. Understanding this emotional grammar is absolutely crucial for correctly interpreting the tone of an online message.
So you know if someone's actually excited or just being polite.
Exactly. It tells you if someone is genuinely excited, subtly annoyed, or being playfully sarcastic, adding vital context that plain text alone might miss.
It's easy to look at internet language and think, oh, that's just bad grammar. But is it really a mistake, or is it an intentional choice, a deliberate stylistic decision? Because I often see people intentionally doing things that would get them red marks in a formal essay, like deliberately misspelling words sometimes.
That's an excellent point, and it's a critical distinction to make both linguistically and socially. What might be considered a grammatical error in formal, prescriptive English is often an intentional stylistic choice in internet language.
So it's not ignorance, it's style.
Often, yes. It's not about lacking knowledge. It's about adapting the language to fit the unique communication goals and environments of digital spaces. It's a deliberate aesthetic choice, optimized for efficiency and expression within specific digital contexts. It signals that you are fluent in the digital dialect.
Give us some tangible examples. Let's compare some formal English with its internet equivalent to really highlight this. How about expressing amusement?
Okay, let's take a common expression of amusement. In formal English, you might write, "I found that very amusing. It made me laugh heartily." This sentence is complete, properly capitalized, and uses appropriate punctuation. Feels a bit stiff, maybe.
Yeah, very formal. Nobody talks like that online.
Right. But online, you'd much more likely see something like, oh, nah, that's hilarious. Here, we observe extreme informality with a lowercase lol, the contraction that's, and the complete lack of capitalization or punctuation.
Much more natural for online.
This isn't a mistake. It's a deliberate choice for directness, immediacy, and conciseness, prioritizing the rapid exchange of humor over grammatical correctness. It feels much more conversational and less stiff.
That really highlights the difference in tone and intention. What about apologizing or explaining a delay, which is something we do so often online? How does that compare?
Okay, formally, you'd likely say, I will be there as soon as possible, I apologize for the delay, and I regret any inconvenience this may cause. It's polite, comprehensive, and follows formal rules.
Very proper, maybe a bit much for a quick text.
Exactly. In Internet English, that often becomes, "Ong sorry, running late, be there ASAP." Notice the ong for immediate expression of urgency regret, the truncated the casual running late, and the pervasive use of abbreviations like ASAP.
And no caps or punctuation again?
Crucially, there's a complete lack of capitalization and punctuation, which, as we discussed, isn't a lapse, but an intentional way to transmit a casual, rapid, and non-formal tone. It feels much more immediate, less stiff, and conveys a shared understanding of busy lives.
And for expressing a strong opinion or disagreement, I'm curious how emo that's cap compares to something formal. That seems worlds apart.
It really is. A formal expression for disagreement might be, that is a valid point of view. However, I must respectfully disagree with your assertion. It's measured, uses formal transition words, and maintains politeness.
Very careful language.
Yes. The internet version, emo that's cap, is incredibly direct, almost blunt. Emo, in my opinion, introduces the viewpoint, and that's cap is a very blunt, contemporary slang way of saying that's a lie, or I strongly disagree.
No beating around the bush there.
None at all. It completely cuts out the formal niceties and gets straight to the point, using current slang to convey agreement or disagreement. It's concise, reflects the often impatient and direct nature of online discourse, and signals a certain level of comfort and shared understanding with the recipient.
So what you're saying is these aren't errors in the traditional sense, but rather a different form of linguistic mastery. It's knowing how to break the rules correctly for the context.
Precisely. We shouldn't view these as errors in language, but rather as remarkable linguistic adaptations. They are evolved forms of the language, optimized for the unique demands and environments of digital spaces.
So it's language evolving, basically.
Absolutely. They reflect the core values of digital communication: speed, casualness, authenticity, and immediate emotional expression. They serve a very specific and effective purpose within their context, demonstrating language's incredible flexibility to meet new communicative needs.
So we've talked about the words themselves and the unspoken rules of internet grammar, but here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Where you are online and who you're talking to changes everything. It's not a one-size-fits-all language, is it? You wouldn't use lol on LinkedIn, probably.
No, definitely not. Not at all. It's a critical point. Think of it like adjusting your voice, vocabulary, and even body language when you move from a formal business meeting to a casual conversation with your closest friends, or even to a family gathering.
Right, code switching.
Exactly. Digital code switching. Different online platforms and even different communities within platforms have vastly different linguistic expectations. Understanding these unspoken rules of context is crucial for effective and appropriate communication. It's all about reading the room, digitally speaking.
Let's break down some platform-specific language, starting with the most professional one, LinkedIn. What's the expectation there? Seems pretty buttoned up.
LinkedIn is undeniably the most professional of the major social platforms. The language used here closely mirrors traditional business English. Correct grammar, proper punctuation, complete sentences, and a formal or semi-formal tone are not just preferred, but are absolutely expected.
So no slang, no casual acronyms.
Generally, no. Using internet slang, excessive abbreviations, or multiple emojis here would generally be considered unprofessional and could severely undermine your credibility. This is a space for networking, career development, and industry discussions, so the language reflects that seriousness.
Your digital first impression, career-wise.
Exactly. Your communication choices contribute significantly to your perceived professional identity, and a misstep here can have real-world consequences for your career prospects.
Okay, noted. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we have Instagram and TikTok. These platforms seem to be where a lot of new language is born, like a linguistic explosion.
They really are. These platforms are highly visual, incredibly informal, and incredibly fast-paced. They are absolute breeding grounds for new slang, viral trends, and rapid linguistic evolution.
So short, punchy, trendy.
Communication here is characterized by quick, punchy captions, heavy use of abbreviations, creative misspellings, and constant, often ephemeral references to memes, trending sounds, or viral challenges. What's truly fascinating here is how these platforms accelerate linguistic evolution.
How so?
The visual nature means that a single image or short video can spark a new phrase or usage, which then spreads globally within hours or days, becoming common currency among millions.
Wow, hours or days, that's fast.
Think of terms like riz, skibidi, or main character energy. These often originate or proliferate rapidly on TikTok due to its algorithm and user base, showcasing a truly dynamic, almost chaotic linguistic laboratory where words are forged and adopted at lightning speed.
A linguistic laboratory, I like that. And Twitter, or X as it's now known, seems to be a fascinating mix of informality and serious discourse. Sometimes it's hard to tell what tone to use.
Twitter is very conversational and incredibly fast-paced, often serving as a hub for real-time news, debates, and quick reactions. The language can be a fascinating mix of formal and informal, largely depending on the topic, the specific community, and the individual.
And the character limits used to force that brevity, right?
Historically, yes. The character limits heavily influence brevity, leading to more abbreviations and concise phrasing. Even with expanded limits, the culture of quick, impactful statements remains strong. You'll see academic discussions unfolding next to humorous takes, political commentary, and playful banter, often with very different linguistic styles coexisting.
So you really have to gauge the specific conversation.
Exactly. It's a platform where context shifts rapidly, and your language needs to adapt instantly.
Reddit is particularly unique because of its highly specific communities, the subreddits. How does that affect the language used there? It can feel like a totally different world sometimes.
Reddit truly stands out because of its subreddit communities, which are essentially dedicated forums for incredibly niche interests. Each subreddit often develops its own distinct culture, its own specific jargon, and a wealth of inside jokes.
So the language gets super specific.
The language can become extremely specialized to that niche, making it almost unintelligible to outsiders. This raises an important question. How does a niche community affect language? It fosters the creation of hyper-specific dialect.
Like little linguistic islands.
Exactly. Within these communities, certain words, phrases, or acronyms gain highly specialized meanings that are completely lost outside that group. This linguistic specificity strengthens the community, acting as a form of social glue and a barrier to entry for those not dedicated enough to learn the local dialect.
So the language itself builds the community identity.
Absolutely. It's like a linguistic microcosm, where shared knowledge and context dictate communication, fostering a strong sense of identity and belonging among its members. It's a beautiful example of language adapting to the needs of a very specific social group, creating a profound sense of shared identity through lexicon.
And finally, personal messaging, like WhatsApp or direct messages, DMs. This is where our language probably gets its most personal and informal, I imagine.
Absolutely. WhatsApp and direct messages are the most intimate and informal digital spaces. The language here is highly adapted to your individual relationship with the person you're chatting with.
So loads of inside jokes and shorthand.
You'll use a lot more personal shorthand, private inside jokes, emojis specific to your relationship, and adjust your tone based on your familiarity and comfort level. This is where the boundaries of language are most fluid and tailored. You might use full sentences and formal grammar with a colleague, but revert to rapid-fire abbreviations and slang with your best friend in the very next chat.
It's where your true chat self comes out.
Exactly. It's where your most authentic digital voice shines through, reflecting the depth and informality of your closest relationships.
You wouldn't talk to your boss the same way you talk to your best friend.
Okay.
The internet has its own version of that, and it's called reading the room. It's a fundamental social intelligence skill, both online and off, wouldn't you say?
Exactly. In the online context, reading the room means observing how others in a specific community or conversation communicate before you participate. It's about understanding the unspoken norms, the preferred tone, and the linguistic expectations of that particular digital space, and then adapting your digital voice accordingly.
It sounds crucial for not, well, embarrassing yourself.
It's a crucial aspect of social intelligence online, showing respect and awareness.
So what are some of those key observational cues we should look for when we're trying to read the room online? What should we notice?
Before you jump into a comment section or a new group chat, take a moment to scroll through existing comments or posts. Ask yourself, do people use many emojis or none at all?
Okay, emoji usage. What else?
Is the language predominantly sarcastic, serious, or playful? Are there specific slang terms that are frequently used, or certain abbreviations that seem common only within that group?
So the overall tone and specific vocabulary.
Right. For instance, in some online communities, sarcasm is the default mode of communication, and if you don't pick up on that, your sincere comment might be completely misinterpreted or even seem naive and out of place.
Yeah, I can see that happening easily.
Conversely, in a serious, support-oriented discussion forum, injecting humor or overly casual language might be perceived as disrespectful or flippant. It's about recognizing the linguistic cues that signal the community's established personality.
And what are the consequences of not reading the room? It seems like it could range from just sounding awkward to outright offending people or getting kicked out of a group.
You're spot on. The consequences can range from simply being misunderstood to inadvertently causing offense, looking completely out of touch, or even being ostracized by the community. The source gives a perfect example. Trying to use a TikTok slang term in an academic forum on Reddit, for example, would be cringe.
Right, that would feel super jarring. Why is that mismatch so bad?
Why does this mismatch feel so jarring or inappropriate? Because the expectations for communication in an academic forum are entirely different from TikTok. On TikTok, the goal is often virality, quick humor, and trend participation, using language that is ephemeral and highly informal.
Whereas the academic forum is about, well, academics.
Exactly. In an academic Reddit forum, the expectation is for thoughtful, evidence-based discussion using precise, often formal language. Using a casual, trending slang term that belongs in a completely different context signals a profound lack of understanding or respect for the community's established norms.
It makes you look like you don't belong or don't care.
Precisely. It makes your contribution feel awkward, out of place, and can lead to you being dismissed or even ridiculed. It's like showing up to a black tie gala in flip-flops. You simply haven't grasped the social code.
That analogy perfectly illustrates it. So adapting your language to the context isn't about being inauthentic then. It's about being effective and respectful.
Not at all. It's precisely about effective communication. It's a demonstration of social intelligence and showing that you understand and respect the culture of that specific digital space.
So it helps you connect better.
It's a fundamental aspect of communicating thoughtfully and appropriately, demonstrating your awareness and ability to integrate into different social environments. It's a sign of respect, an indicator that you're a thoughtful participant, and it allows you to connect more effectively with others by speaking their linguistic dialect in that specific context.
Now that we know the words and the unspoken rules, let's put it all together with some real-life scenarios. How do you actually use this language in practice, and what are some go-to phrases for common online interactions? Let's make it practical.
Okay, let's start with something very common. Commenting on a post, say on Instagram or TikTok. You see something you like, and you want to react, but you want your comment to resonate, to fit in.
Okay, so if I want to praise something or someone online beyond just great picture or nice, what are some more internet native ways to express genuine enthusiasm, something that sounds current?
For praising, you have some truly expressive options that convey high enthusiasm and engagement. You could say, "This is everything."
This is everything. Okay, what does that really mean?
It isn't literal. It means something is perfect, amazing, exactly what you needed to see, or encapsulates a whole mood. For example, on a photo of a delicious meal, "This is everything" conveys total satisfaction.
Got it. What else?
Or, "You understood the assignment." This means you absolutely nailed it, you did exactly what was required, but in a remarkably impressive or creative way. It's a high compliment for skillful execution.
I like that one. Understood the assignment.
And a newer one that's very popular is, "The vibe is immaculate." It means the atmosphere, feeling, or aesthetic conveyed by the post is perfect, flawless, and aesthetically pleasing.
Like we discussed with vibe earlier.
Exactly. For example, a photo of a cozy reading nook with perfect lighting. The vibe is immaculate.
Yeah.
These are all high praise, high energy comments that show you're immersed in internet culture.
What if I just want to show I completely agree with someone or something without writing a whole paragraph, like a quick thumbs up in word form?
For agreeing, a simple and incredibly powerful one that shows strong alignment is just this.
Just the word this.
Just this, it means exactly, or "You've articulated my thoughts perfectly." You might see it under a thoughtful take on a trending topic. You could also say, "Couldn't have said it better myself," which is a very clear endorsement and shows strong personal alignment.
That's a bit more traditional, but still works.
It does. Or, very commonly now, just facts. This means true, agreed, or that's undeniably correct, indicating that what was said is irrefutable. It's very direct and affirming.
Facts. Simple. I like it. And for that moment when you see something and think, oh my gosh, that's exactly me, showing identification or deep relatability, how do you express that online?
For showing identification, a very popular and specific phrase is, it's the something specific for me.
Okay, how does that work?
For example, if someone posts about their incredibly messy but functional desk, you might comment, it's the stack of books for me. It means what resonated most with me, or what I identify with most, is that specific detail, implying the rest of the post is also relatable.
Ah, so you pinpoint the relatable part.
It's a way of highlighting a particular element that makes the entire post deeply relatable to your own experience. And simply, this is so relatable, meaning it's very easy to identify with, often used when something perfectly captures a shared human experience or a specific quirk that many people experience.
Let's put this into a live example. Imagine a beautiful photo of a paradise beach posted by a travel influencer. Walk us through how different users might comment using some of this language.
Okay, so the post is, photo of a paradise beach. Then we see the comments roll in, each adding a layer of digital interaction. Let's imagine the first one.
Okay, user 1 writes, OMG, way is this? Adding it to my bucket list ASAP. How do we break that down?
Here, OMG perfectly captures the initial excitement and awe at seeing the beautiful photo. It's an immediate, strong emotional reaction to something stunning.
Right, the classic reaction.
And ASAP is used in the context of urgency and enthusiasm. They want to know where it is as soon as possible so they can research and plan their own trip. It conveys eagerness and a proactive desire to experience the beauty themselves, which is a common sentiment in travel content.
In user 2 comments, the vibe is immaculate. I'm so jealous, Erna. What's going on there?
User 2 is employing the slang we just discussed. The vibe is immaculate, praises the perfect, serene atmosphere conveyed by the photo. It's an elevated compliment for the feeling the place evokes. It's more sophisticated than just beautiful. And RN is the abbreviation for right now, indicating their immediate, intense feeling of jealousy or longing. This comment is concise, uses current slang, and expresses a strong, relatable emotion that many feel when seeing aspirational content.
And user 3 adds, it's the crystal clear water for me, with the sparkle emoji.
User 3 uses the "it's the X for me" structure, highlighting that the most striking or personally relatable aspect of the photo for them is the crystal clear water. This phrasing implies that while the whole photo is great, this specific detail is what truly captures their attention and resonates deeply.
And the emoji adds.
The sparkle emoji adds a visual emphasis, conveying wonder and admiration for that particular captivating detail, enhancing the emotional impact beyond plain text. Emojis are crucial context clues.
Finally, the creator replies, at user 1, it's in the Philippines. You have to go. What about this interaction?
The creator's reply is a perfect example of direct social media engagement. They use the @ symbol, which is standard for tagging and directly addressing other users, ensuring user 1 sees the response.
Standard practice now.
They maintain an informal and enthusiastic tone, you have to go, encouraging a call to action. And the heart emoji adds warmth, friendliness, and a personal touch, reinforcing the positive interaction and building community connection. This shows how creators participate in the linguistic environment of their platform.
Moving on, what about participating in a discussion, say on Twitter or Reddit, where opinions are flying and you need to contribute your perspective thoughtfully? It can be intimidating.
In discussions, particularly those involving debates or strong opinions, you need phrases that help you state your case clearly and respectfully, or to challenge others in a constructive way. The goal is to engage, not just to shout into the void.
How do you give your opinion in a way that signals its nature, perhaps, that it's a bit controversial, or just your humble viewpoint, without sounding aggressive?
For giving your opinion, you might start with hot take, but I think hot take signifies that you're about to present a potentially unpopular, provocative, or controversial opinion, but one that you strongly believe in.
So it warns people this might be spicy.
Exactly. It sets an expectation for what's to follow, often daring others to disagree. Alternatively, for a more humble or less confrontational approach, you could say, just my 2 cents. But
Only 2 cents, okay.
This acknowledges that you're just offering your small, perhaps insignificant opinion, but you still want to contribute to the discussion. It's a polite and disarming way to insert yourself into the conversation without appearing overly assertive.
And if you see something stated as fact, but you're not entirely sure about it, or you want to encourage critical thinking, how do you challenge that politely?
Then you can simply and powerfully ask, source.
Yeah.
Or, do you have a source for that? This is absolutely crucial for critical thinking and combating misinformation online.
Just source can be quite effective.
It's a polite but firm way to challenge unsubstantiated claims and encourage evidence-based discussions. It's about holding people accountable for the information they share, promoting accuracy and pushing back against unverified assertions. It's a cornerstone of responsible online dialogue.
Sometimes, in a heated discussion, you just can't agree, and you need to end the exchange gracefully without burning bridges or getting into an endless argument.
Exactly. For agreeing to disagree, a classic and universally understood phrase is, let's agree to disagree on this one.
Simple, clear, respectful.
It's a polite and effective way to disengage from a discussion that isn't going anywhere productive, signaling that you respect the other person's right to their opinion, even if you don't share it. It closes the conversation without animosity, maintaining civility, and allowing for future, more productive interactions. It's a sign of maturity in online discourse.
Let's talk about sending a direct message, DM, to a friend. This is probably the most personal and informal space, where the language rules are the most fluid, right? It's just between you two.
Indeed. In direct messages, the language is highly tailored to your existing relationship, and it's all about capturing immediate thoughts, reactions, and sharing personal moments. The intimacy allows for extreme shorthand and inside jokes that wouldn't make sense elsewhere.
How do you kick off a conversation with a friend in a DM if you've seen something wild, funny, or shocking and want to share it right away? That initial burst of, you have to see this.
For starting a conversation with immediate excitement or disbelief, you might send, OMG, did you see? Or, no, hey, look at this. These phrases immediately capture that initial burst of surprise or disbelief and invite your friend into the shared experience, signaling that what you're about to share is important, attention-grabbing, or requires an urgent reaction.
Gets their attention fast.
They're designed to elicit an immediate reciprocal emotional response and get the conversation flowing quickly around a shared point of interest.
And what if something is so funny or shocking or overwhelming you can barely handle it? How do you convey that intensity without writing a novel? Those moments where words fail you.
For reacting to something that's extremely funny, shocking, or overwhelming, you'll often see hyperbole used as slang. You might say, I'm dead, or I'm screaming.
I'm dead. Yeah, I see that a lot.
These are slang terms, meaning something is so hilarious or shocking that it has metaphorically killed you with laughter or made you scream with amusement or surprise. They're not literal, but they convey extreme emotional reaction.
What else?
You'll also frequently see, I can't even, which is used to express being so overwhelmed with emotion, whether it's amusement, frustration, or disbelief, that you literally can't even articulate a full response.
I literally can't even.
Exactly. It's a shorthand for intense, ineffable feeling, indicating a level of emotion that defies words. These are fantastic for conveying extreme reactions concisely and powerfully.
Let's do a full DM conversation example to bring it all together. Imagine Anna and Ben are friends chatting about a new TV series they're both watching, maybe something intense like Crowns of Power.
Okay, this is a great scenario because it highlights many of the dynamics we've discussed. The dialogue starts with Anna initiating.
Anna, have you finished the new season of Crowns of Power?
This is a simple, direct question, very typical for starting a chat about shared interests. It's concise and gets straight to the point, showing she remembers their shared interest in the series.
Ben, not yet. I'm on the last episode. No spoilers.
Yeah.
P.S.
Ben's response is full of anticipation. He uses PLA as a common abbreviation for please, emphasizing his urgent request for no spoilers.
Short and sweet.
It's concise, direct, and perfectly conveys his excitement and caution. The exclamation mark adds to the urgency, despite the brevity.
Anna, OMG, you're in for a ride. The ending is insane.
Anna responds with, OMG, here used to convey intense excitement and a hint of dramatic warning about the series ending. It sets up anticipation for Ben, signaling the profound emotional impact of what's to come without revealing specifics.
Building the hype.
Her choice of insane further amplifies the emotional intensity.
And then, I can't wait. Did you see the theories about the main character?
Ben expresses enthusiasm with I can't wait, and then uses B2W to smoothly transition the topic. He shifts from discussing his current watch progress to asking about fan theories, indicating a natural flow of conversation, just like in real life.
Good pivot.
It allows him to bring up a related but distinct point of discussion.
Yeah, some of them are wild. TBH, I think he's the real villain.
Anna uses TBH, to be honest, to introduce her sincere opinion, which might be a bit of a hot take itself regarding the character's true role.
Dropping her theory.
It signals that she's sharing her genuine, unfiltered thought on the theories, even if it goes against popular sentiment. The phrase adds weight to her personal conviction.
Ben? No cap, that's a hot take. Spill the tea after I finish the episode.
Ben's response is packed with internet slang, beautifully demonstrating advanced fluency. No cap is his way of asking, seriously, or no lie, seeking confirmation from Anna, implying a slight disbelief at her bold statement.
He's surprised.
He then acknowledges her opinion as a hot take, a potentially controversial viewpoint. Finally, he enthusiastically says, spill the tea, which means, tell me all the juicy gossip and details.
So now he wants the spoilers.
Exactly. He wants all the spoilers and the full breakdown once he's watched it, despite his earlier plea, which is a common humorous contradiction in fan discussions. This entire exchange beautifully demonstrates the dynamic, informal, and context-rich nature of DMs between close friends, where slang and abbreviations create a shared, intimate, linguistic space.
That was an incredible breakdown of how these phrases actually come together in real time. So what does all of this mean for you, our listener? How can you start using these insights right away to become more confident in your online English? Because knowing is one thing, but doing is another, right?
Precisely. The goal here isn't just passive learning, it's active engagement and building real confidence. We want you to feel empowered to step into these digital conversations and participate authentically.
I love this idea, the Slang Translator Challenge. It sounds like a fun way to practice, less pressure maybe.
It absolutely is. For the Slang Translator Challenge, we encourage you to find an English comment or post online, perhaps on Instagram, Twitter, or Reddit, that you don't fully understand, and then use the concepts and terms we've discussed today to try and decipher it.
So become a language detective.
Exactly. Break it down. Are there acronyms? What slang terms are used? How is the capitalization and punctuation impacting the tone? Why is active deciphering more effective than passive learning? Because it forces you to engage critically.
You have to figure it out yourself.
You're not just memorizing definitions. You're applying rules, inferring context, connecting linguistic dots, and developing your own linguistic intuition. This process solidifies your understanding much more deeply than simply reading definitions. It's like solving a puzzle, which makes the knowledge stick and build your confidence in real-world scenarios.
And it's okay to look things up if you're stuck.
Oh, absolutely. Don't be afraid to use an online dictionary or a quick search if you get stuck. The goal is the process of trying to figure it out.
And then, the English Comment Challenge. That feels like a bigger step for some, maybe a bit nerve-wracking, but a really important one for actually using the language.
It is, and it's exhilarating. We challenge you to leave a comment in English on a post you genuinely like online, using one of the essential phrases or concepts you've learned today.
Just dip your toe in.
Exactly. It could be something as simple as, "This is everything," or facts on a post you agree with. The key here is to start simple. Don't feel pressured to write a complex multi-paragraph analysis. Just get your foot in the door. Experience that small success of contributing.
Build that confidence bit by bit.
We want to reinforce that active participation and diligent observation are key to mastering this language. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's a fun game of learning, and every interaction, even a small one, is significant progress toward greater fluency and confidence.
And as we've talked about extensively today, this language is constantly moving, constantly evolving. So it's never truly a finished learning process, is it? You can't just learn it once and be done.
Absolutely. One of the most important takeaways from our discussion is that internet language is a living, breathing entity, constantly evolving. New slang terms emerge daily, the meanings of existing ones can shift subtly, and new platforms introduce new linguistic nuances.
So you have to keep learning.
So continuous adaptation and a spirit of curiosity are part of the fun. It's a lifelong learning journey, and that's precisely what makes it so exciting and relevant. Embrace the changes, enjoy the ride, and allow yourself to find your own authentic voice within the digital world, to connect with others, and to keep up with the vibrant pulse of online culture.
So for you listening, what is the internet slang or acronym that you use most often in any language? Think about your own usage. And has there been an English internet expression you've seen recently that you just couldn't make sense of, that left you completely stumped? What was it? Perhaps now you'll be able to decipher it or even contribute to the next wave of internet language.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, perhaps understanding the intricate grammar of the internet helps us not just communicate better online, but also gain a deeper insight into how human connection, community, and language itself are rapidly changing and adapting in our increasingly digital age.
That's a really interesting thought.
It's a fascinating reflection of our evolving social landscape and our innate human drive to communicate.
Happy scrolling. And that's our topic for today. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to explore the other videos on our channel to continue your English practice.